Hey guys, so I'm back. The last video was obviously a short video with no voiceover. So I thought I'd go and give you a little recap of what's been happening in the last 2 weeks. So basically, what happened is I found out that unfortunately I won't be able to compete. I was actually supposed to compete tomorrow, and that won't be happening. Which is a bummer. But we're taking, doesn't matter, just moving on. But anyways, so I found out that I was not going to be able to compete. So finding that out, I just, I just figured why not just kind of do a peaking week and then max out on the Saturday. So like I posted on Instagram, I'm not too sure if like it was a some subconscious kind of reaction physically or mentally, or if it was a build up from kind of exhaustion of just like just of the last few weeks in terms of either training or personal life or whatnot. Could be a lot of things. Just obviously been on the weight loss as well, so I started overthinking things and just thinking like what could have affected that, because I had a pretty poor performance throughout the peak. So what I had originally planned for my second attempts, which I did on the Monday, kind of ended up feeling like 1 rep maxes. They're available on Instagram. However, I decided not to make it a YouTube video, and I just decided to post what I ended up doing on the Saturday. So what happened is, I hit the 160 and 160 squat and 190 deadlift, which were my planned second attempts. They felt pretty horrible, so that put me a little down. Then I went on and proceeded with the rest of the planned peaking week, which is kind of based on the Bulgarian method, because I've been enjoying that peaking method. So I went on and did my openers. I think it was Thursday or whatnot, just a few days prior to the planned max day, which was on Friday, and then the in between was just like some don't remember exactly. Let me check now. What I did as a for the peaking week. Alright, so the way I did it is did second attempt squat and deadlift on the Monday, second attempt bench on the Tuesday, openers on the Wednesday for squat, and then opener for the bench on the Thursday, then a day off, and then finally the test day. So yeah, everything felt a little bit off. So it was a little bit down. Still always looking forward to go to the gym and everything. I felt pumped to do it, but I just felt a little down mentally or physically. I guess it kind of affected me slightly. So I came in on the Saturday, and just I wasn't feeling like kind of maxing out. So I just doing like kind of a mock meet. I decided to still max out, but kind of like really raw style. So like I used to lift when I had like basically no equipment. I mean, it's still considered raw lifting with a belt, knee sleeves, and wrist wraps. But I mean, like really raw, like beltless, sleeveless, and without wrist wraps, just the Olympic shoes. So I did that for the squat, did that for the bench without the wrist wraps, and then the deadlift just beltless. I ended up getting 140, 85, and 170, which obviously are PRs in kind of that way of lifting, because I haven't lifted without the belt, the knee sleeves, the wrist wrap in a while. I've been going beltless, but still with the sleeves, which I still think really help. And then so that's what I had on the day. I think I worked. It was about a 9 for the squat, RP 9 for the bench, and about a 9.5 to 10 on the deadlift. So yeah, that's what I ended up doing, and then obviously I was in touch with the person kind of about the competition, because I found out I couldn't compete. So I asked him what I could do. He said it was too late for this competition, and then he said there would be a AGM, or annual general meeting, IPF, for the SE, or Southeastern division. in early December, and he told me they decide the competition dates then, but he said it's very likely that there will be one on the 4th of March, so I've decided to construct my training blocks around that. So what you're watching right now is block 1, week 1 that I've just completed. So basically the way I've structured it, there's going to be one block, it's going to be very unspecific, kind of beltless for everything and sleeveless for the squats, and then still the wrist wraps on the bench, to keep the wrist healthy, but just like very unspecific work. You got some high bar, some conventional, some front squats, some stiff legs, some complex with high bar conventional, and just I'm hitting the squat bench deadlift competition style 3 times a week, but they're beltless, sleeveless, so they're very unspecific, and then I'm trying to hit it my weak points, sorry. So that's pretty much the first block. It's gonna be 7 weeks. Then I'll work to the second block, block 2, which will be another 7 weeks, but the belt and the knee sleeves will come back on, and then obviously the wrist wraps will stay, and we will continue in the progression. And then finally, the third block will be the peaking block based on Bulgarian methods. So the way it ended up turning out, or at least that's what I've planned for now, is because the competition is on week 16. So block 1 7 weeks, block 2 7 weeks, and about a full week of Bulgarian to kind of really get the squat and bench dialed in terms of form. Then just kind of like the peaking style Bulgarian method, kind of like similar that I did. Do squat bench every day, you hit your deadlift, the last deadlift the week before, kind of last daily max, and then competition. So that's pretty much the plan. In terms of this structure, this is based on like all my previous experience and all my success with like movements and structure and what works for me really. So I'm really excited about this program. I've really loved the first week so far. Always excited to try new movements, kind of hit the weak points that like you're seeing throughout this video, throughout various movements. Obviously, because I'm gonna go back to Bulgarian peaking, and then throughout Instagram I've seen so many people with the RP, which is something I used to do. Not that I ever managed to master it for myself. It's something very individual, and I just always have a hard time figuring out what the RP is for all the sets and whatnot that I perform. But decided to get back on the RP game. So basically this program structure, although this time around I started kind of low, so I wouldn't say percentage, but I'll set percentage if I'm gonna plan to use this program around basically kind of like yeah, it's a 16-week cycle with 3 blocks, kind of, so technically three different blocks, so one cycle divided in 3 blocks. We'll end up using percentages next time, because at the moment I did kind of use percentages, but based on those really raw maxes, so they're really inaccurate, and they kind of give me an easy start, so I didn't want to start too heavy. So I'll have to figure out the percentage. It's something I'm probably going to do tonight, and the percentage for the next time I use this whole cycle, which would be a very long time, I think will be based on new maxes that we'll try to set throughout these blocks. So yeah, the goal is pretty much to kind of increase by the smallest increment on the 2 first movements, or at least most of the movements, because every movement that will continue in the next block, but that will continue with either an added belt and knee sleeves or wrist wraps, or that will be continued as in most bench and rows, because I didn't want to go too crazy in variation, so I stayed kind of close to competition. Will be increased by well, hopefully by 2.5 every week, and I'll see how far I can take it. Hopefully I can progress throughout 14 weeks. However, all the lower secondary movements, such as like for example high bar, conventional, front squat, stiff leg, and then the complexes. Well, complexes I won't really need them. This is something I'm really looking to kind of set new predicted 1 rep max based on the rep range. So that's something I'll be working on. So I'll be increasing those movements faster, maybe by 10 if I feel really comfortable. Like here, 70 was really comfortable, so I'll go 80 next week, and I'll try to end up with some new maxes for high bar and conventional stiff leg and front squats, and I'll feed that be it. And based on those, I will be able to set for the next block. So obviously, coming to an end here, so I will give a further detailed explanation of the program. I'm still figuring it myself. I swear I change things every week, but it always works out fine for me. So that's how it works for me. It's just easier, and I'm just happier that way. Just editing as I go along, and then one day hopefully have a really structured kind of program that I can follow again and again, and obviously that I can share here. Always feel free to kind of jump on, just either message and comment below or something if you want to have the structure or not. I'm always willing to share my program. It's not that advanced, it's not that detailed. Yeah, it's just like, and I'm always willing to share whatever I try if it works. That was a really successful week. I just got to figure out how I'm going to set percentages for if I use it again, and then just have to figure out by how much I'm going to go up on everything next week, because RP is something I'm still struggling with. But basically, the program optimally at the end will be percentage based, start with percentage, ensure that you progressively overload throughout the weeks, but keep the RP in check to kind of, well, never fail really. So that's pretty much it. I'll let you enjoy the rest of the footage. I'll talk to you next week, and obviously I'll go into a little more details because videos are shorter now, because I'm giving you only, I think it's one video per set of each movement per day, and it's 4 movements per day. Anyways, I'll talk to you later, guys. Bye bye.